Hello everyone, welcome to the chemistry classes. Now the today's topic is how to balance the chemical equation. Listen, first of all I would like to explain what do you mean by the chemical equation. Chemical equation is a symbolic representation of a reaction in which the symbols and chemical formulas are involved. This is called chemical equation. And in chemical reaction, there are few substances in which the substance are participating to form a new substance, and those reactions, those substances which are participating in a chemical reaction are called reactants, while those substances which are formed in a chemical reaction are called product. And how to represent the chemical reaction? Reactants are always written in the left side, while the product are to be written in the right side. This is called the chemical equation. And what do you mean by the balancing? What is the significance of balancing the chemical equation? If you want to calculate the exact proportions or exact amount of any reactants or product, then the balancing reaction is required. In such condition, balancing is must, because in order to get the appropriate answer, appropriate amount of substance, means reactants or product, then the balancing is necessary. Without balancing, we cannot opt the exact amount of any reactants or products. There are two methods by which the chemical reaction are balanced. The first method, hit and trial method. In hit and trial method, all the atoms are balanced. How these elements are to be balanced? Let's show an example. First of all, this is a chemical reaction in which all the atom has to be balanced. First of all, you have to write all the elements, reactants and products. This is a manganese oxide reacts with a hydrochloric acid to form manganese chloride, chlorine and water. First of all, you have to write all the elements with number. This is called left hand side and this is called right hand side. Left hand side shows the atoms of reactant, while right hand side shows the atoms of product. In left hand side, Mn, manganese 1. In this side, Mn 1, manganese 1, and here oxygen 2, here oxygen 1. Now hydrogen 1, here hydrogen 2, and chlorine 1, here chlorine 4. Now check both sides, the atom must be balanced. How? Mn1, Mn1, oxygen 2, here oxygen 2, then we have to multiply it by 2. That means in order to balance the oxygen, then water is multiplied by 2. When the water is multiplied by 2, then automatically the number of hydrogen atom would be 4. Now the hydrogen atom, it is 4. In order to balance the hydrogen atom 4, here hydrogen atom 1, then multiplied by 4. This is means right now, then now the check, when the hydrogen atom is 4, then automatically the number of chlorine atom would be 4. Now the fluorine atom, it is 4. Let's check the equation is balanced or not. Mn1, Mn1, oxygen 2, oxygen 2, hydrogen 1. Now the hydrogen is also be 4, hydrogen 4 and hydrogen 4, chlorine 4, chlorine 4. This is the hit and trial method in which all the atoms are balanced through this method. This is called the hit and trial method. Now the next method is partial equation method. In this method, equations are split into the different forms. Now after all, are these two reactions when we get the final equation? How? Listen, suppose that this is a reaction in which potassium iodide reacts with the hydrogen peroxide to form potassium hydroxide and iodine. We know that When hydrogen peroxide decomposed, it forms water and oxygen. Listen, this is called nascent oxygen, reactive oxygen, nascent oxygen, that is also known as. And now potassium hydroxide reacts with this nascent oxygen. Potassium hydroxide reacts with this nascent oxygen to form 2 moles of potassium hydroxide and iodine. Now, this is the equation number first and this is the equation number second. When we add these two equations, then listen, this nascent oxygen is left side while this nascent oxygen is on right side. When we transfer this oxygen, then this oxygen is transferred with a negative sign. That means when we add these two equations, then this nascent oxygen and this nascent oxygen are cancelled out. When we add these two equations, then we get final equation, means 2 moles potassium hydroxide reacts with hydrogen peroxide, means reactants add with the same side. It forms 2 moles of potassium hydroxide and iodine. Now listen, here 2 moles of hydrogen, here no hydrogen. In order to balance the hydrogen, we add 1 water molecule H2O, which are cancelled with this of water and this water. Now the balancing equation is this, means potassium iodide reacts to the hydrogen peroxide to form potassium hydroxide and iodine. This is called potassium iodine. Now the next topic is empirical formula. First of all, I would like to explain what is called empirical formula. Empirical formula is a simplest formula which gives the simplest whole number ratio present in one molecule of compound. That is called empirical formula. What is the significance of empirical formula? Listen carefully. Suppose that a chemical formula like this is called hydrogen peroxide. What is called it? Hydrogen peroxide, in which 2 hydrogen and 2 oxygen are present. But the simplest formula of this, when they simplify these 2 oxygen, these 2 atoms, means hydrogen and oxygen, and we take common HO whole twice. That means this is the simplest form, simplest whole number ratio, means this simplest whole number is called empirical formula, means OH is a empirical formula of hydrogen peroxide. For example, one more example, like C6H12O6. Here 3 atoms are participated, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Now when we simplify carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, now take 6 common, means CH2O whole 6, means C6H12O6 we can written as CH2O whole 6. This is called the simplest form, and the simplest form is called the empirical formula. That means CH2O is the empirical formula of C6H12O6. In the same manner, when we talk about the acetic acid, CH3COH, here the number of carbon atom 2, it can be written as C2, number of hydrogen atom 4, 3, 1, 4, 4, and oxygen atom 2. Now simplify, take 2 common, CH2O whole twice. That means CH2O is also the empirical formula of CH3COOH acetic acid. This is called the empirical formula, means simplest whole number ratio is called the empirical formula of a compound or molecule. Now with the help of percentage of element, we can also calculate the empirical formula. How? Suppose that in a question given the percentage of elements means calcium 40%, carbon 12%, and oxygen 48% are given. Now you have to calculate the empirical formula. With the help of percentage, we can calculate the empirical formula as well. How? Listen. In order to calculate the empirical formula, firstly we have to prepare a table. So first column, elements, number of elements, calcium, carbon, and oxygen. Calcium, carbon, and oxygen. And the given percentage is calcium 40%, carbon 12%, and oxygen 48%. And the next, atomic mass. Atomic mass of carbon is calcium 40, carbon 12, and oxygen 16. Now the ratio. Ratio means, what do you mean by the ratio? It is the ratio of percentage of atomic mass, means percentage divided by atomic mass, means 40 divided by 40, that is 1. Carbon 12 divided by 12, that is 1. Now the ratio of oxygen 48 divided by 16, that is 3. And how we get the simple ratio? Simple ratio is the ratio when the ratio of each ratio is divided by the least number, and the least number is 1. So each ratio is divided by the least ratio, that is 1, means 1 divided by 1, we get 1. So 1 divided by 1, that is 1, and 3 is also divided by 1, that is 3. And now in order to get the empirical formula, calcium, in empirical formula, calcium, the number of ratio of calcium is 1, that means Ca1. Similarly carbon 1, and number of atoms present in oxygen is 3, that means CaC. This is the empirical formula of calcium carbonate. This is the way how to calculate the empirical formula with the element with the help of percentage. This is the way by which we can calculate the empirical formula and molecular formula as well. In order to get the more knowledge and facts, subscribe and watch the videos as well.